Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pass last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a low, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah!
Western Water Sports, ahoy! Welcome back. We are switching over to rugby league after a day full of rugby union action, Super Rugby to be precise. It is now time to give the rugby league a go as the Indigenous All Stars versus the Maori. Geordie Aussie, ahoy there, mate. Now, I heard a little bit about what happened there at the Manly versus Southscote. Jesus, that was loud suddenly. Didn't realise they were doing a minute's silence, so I've turned the TV up. Yeah, somebody had a heart attack in the crowd or something, right? Very troubling to hear, of course. Indigenous All Stars versus the Maori All Stars. All right, so I've gone ahead and thrown a multi on this game. We've got Hammer, we've got Pereira, we've got Ponga from Tonga, and we've got Big Will Warbrick. Anytime try scorers, 4 legs. I'm anticipating an open, free-flowing back up the suspicion of where this game's going to go as the Maori about to lay down the challenge. James Fisher-Harris, the big unit up front. Dane Gagai. Not Jai Arrow, Michelle. Dane Gagai. Kalyn Ponga. A lot of talk about Kalyn Ponga playing for the Maori. Very solid looking team. Wasted World of Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on... Oh, we're not live on Facebook yet because having it go live. Better do that. Better do that right now. Oh, we are. Okay. I had already done it. There you go. I'm ahead of myself. There is Big Will Warbrick, one of my anytime try scorers. Looking very pumped up and ready for this game. Chance Nickel Clockstat. Oh, God. I didn't mean to laugh. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy. How's the chickens? Any movement in the half an hour we've been gone? This should be should be an interesting game because this was one we were on the fence about, right? There was lots of changes to the team lineups throughout the course of the week, and we contemplated actually not doing this game. But very solid-looking Maori team. Look at the lineup here: Kalyn Ponga, Will Warbrick, Dan Gagai, Moani Hiroti, Jesse Arthurs, Chance Nickel Clockstad, and Cody Nikorima in the halves. Royce Hunt, Jeremy Marshall-King, James Fisher-Harris, Jordan Ricky, Jacob Laban, Leo Thompson, Keanu Kinney, Jazz Tavanga, Zach Docker-Clay, and Curtis Morin. I mean, that is a solid lineup, I've got to say. And now, the Indigenous All Stars to reply. And they're going to throw down a challenge of their own. The Hammer, Tyrone Munro, Brian Kelly, Jack Whiten, Tom Pereira, Jaden Campbell, Neil Waipuru, Shaq Mitchell, Connor Watson, Josh Kerr, Dylan Lucas, Josh Curran, Hohepa Puru, Tallis Duncan, Brent Naden, Jaden Sullivan, and Jacob Alec Wink. Actually, a couple of very impressive lineups. I've got the Maori winning this one quite comfortably, though. I've gone with 2 try scorers for both teams just to balance out my same game multi. Respect shown on both sides as the challenge is thrown down. Yep. Go, multi, go, says Mr. Ed's dead. Yes, indeed. It'll be a great sort of semi-kickoff to the NRL season if we got a multi up nice and early. Of course, Vegas is happening again. Mr. Ed's dead. March the 1st, downtime, I believe it is. The NRL coming back to Las Vegas in 2025. Actually, this is on free to air, so I can go ahead and put this on the Discord with no worries whatsoever. Let me get that sorted. For those that might like to patch in. I just realized that. The Indigenous All Stars now throwing down the gauntlet to the Maori. Dan Jam says, I think the Maori are edging pre-match entertainment. Yeah, I've got to be honest, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this has dragged on a little bit now, I've got to say. The pre-match for the Indigenous All Stars did kind of bang on a wee bit. And I absolutely mean that in the least offensive way possible. Well, the challenge has been laid down for both teams, and we're ready to get this one underway. The Indigenous All Stars versus the Māori All Stars. I've got the Māori winning this somewhat comfortably in the end, I've got to say. I mean, pretty solid lineup all across the park. But the same game multi is pretty even Stevens. The Hammer, Kalyn Pereira, Ponga, and Will Warbrick. Pretty even across the park there, across the two teams. Expecting a high-scoring, close contest for at least 60 minutes. And the Māori perhaps to run away with it in the end. We'll see. Let me just make sure that... Okay, no, that's all good. Make sure we're not infringing on anybody's copyright here. As this game gets ready to get underway, Jack Whiten laying down the law to the Indigenous All Stars. Beautiful sight there, that shot across the top of the stadium. The night sky in the background. It's a beautiful sight. And you always know that the pre-game entertainment, well, not so much entertainment, but the pre-game challenges have gone on for a little bit too long when the teams have to then do a warm-up before we get ready for the kickoff. That's always a signal that it's dragged on a little bit too long. But I digress. Only 5 minutes behind. I think we'll all live. let's get ready for kickoff here. The All Stars game. The game that we weren't going to cover. Yet here we are. Who have we got, chat room? Indigenous or the Māori All Stars? Who have we got winning? All I care about is my multi, to be honest. Either side can win as far as I'm concerned. As long as the right try scorers score tries. Here we go, 4 seconds until kickoff. And this one is underway. All Stars game. The Indigenous All Stars with the kickoff. Māori with first use of it. And from the back fence, it's Big Royce Hunt, a Tiger this year. No longer a Sharky. And he charges out to the 10-meter line. George, alarm, ahoy, mate. From dummy half, Marshall King tries to find some space around the ruck. Nothing doing, though. The Indigenous All Stars wise to that. Fisher Harris. Tackle just outside the 30. Solid opening set there, both on attack and defense, just outside the 40. And it's Kalyn Ponga who's taking the kicking duties. And he thumps this downfield. First use of the ball now for Tyrone Munro. And the Indigenous tackled inside their own 20 in front of the post. Hammer feeds it on for Brian Kelly. Jack Whiten with his first touch. Held up and driven backwards in the tackle. Watson down the short side they go. Jaden Campbell cut out pass for Brian Kelly. Up towards halfway they go. And now just beyond, fifth and last. Just inside the Māori half. Back it goes for Poro, puts it high. This is a contestable kick. Pressure on Kalyn Ponga, but he takes it well. Falls to a knee as he falls back to the turf. And the Māori have it. About 25 out from their own line here in midfield. Big defense there, rocking the Māori backwards. 40 out from their own line now, Gagai. 275 Central, Waste of Water Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Fifth and last here on the halfway line. Back it goes for Docker Clay to kick. Chasing through and putting pressure on the hammer is the number 11, Jordan Ricky. Does well to take that in the face of the kick chasers. 2 minutes 45 gone, no score. .30 meters out from their own line here, Connor Watson with some fancy footwork. Brings it out to the 40. Keeping the ball alive here, the Indigenous All Stars. Oh, slightly high shot there on Jaden Campbell, but he stays on his feet. Comes back down the short side. Takes tackle 5. Now the kick downfield. Ponga, under no pressure at the back, takes it. Runs across field, looking to link up, but he's got nobody to pass to. Tackled inside the 22. There's Warbrick, one of my try scorers. Passes back for Gagai. Gagai steals 10 more meters. Tackle 2 now in decent field position. Staying on the short side. The Māori. Slight advantage in territory at the moment. Ponga now with the double pump. Holds onto the ball in the end. And falls to ground. Getting very heavily involved early, Kalyn Ponga. As down the short side, Marshall King frees up his man, and in open space, Docker Clay taken 22 out from the line. That's the first line break of the match. Fifth and last. Ponga cut out pass to Nickel Clockstad. Sends it on to Hiroti. Keeps it alive. Still fifth and last. Ponga, crossfield kick. Warbrick is up and above everybody for it and taken 2 meters short of the try line. That'll be a handover. The Indigenous All Stars do well on defense. And big Will Warbrick, that was nearly a tick off our multi. So close, yet so far. 22 out from their own line. Now the Indigenous All Stars, the ball spills loose, and they own a penalty. There was a cheeky hand in there, reefing it clear. Penalty, Indigenous. Not a lot of distance on that touch finder. Takes it just outside the 30, still inside their own half. Brian Kelly taking the first hit up. Up towards halfway now, Mitchell backs into the defense. Taken down just inside Maori territory on play 2. Watson up to Puru. Driven backwards in the tackle after making the initial 10 meters. Slow play the ball. Staying on that left-hand edge, the Hammer. Threatening to break through there, Hammer. Watson goes quickly down the short side. And running off his hip. Good support play there from Dylan Lucas. Fifth and last. Down the short side again, Hammer with the grubber kick, but it's read well by Dane Gagai. And the Maori come away with it. Nice set of 6, that one from the Indigenous All Stars, though. And Royce Hunt leaving the field. Jeez, well, I mean, that cannot be tactical. Big Roycey Hunt, the former Shark, now a Tiger. And he is off the park 7 minutes in. As I said, there is no way that can be tactical. That's got to be injury. The Indigenous allow this kick to bounce. It falls kindly for them, and Dylan Lucas now breaks away. And he's gone to ground 30 meters out in midfield. Well, that has worked out in their favor. And the Indigenous All Stars now with the first real attacking opportunity of this match. Into midfield, Tallis Duncan. 6 again. A big set restart here. They go left. Short pass from Puru up to Josh Kerr. He's brought to ground 10 out. Watson from dummy half. Through the hands now they go to the right-hand edge. Munro still 10 meters out for the line, but it's still on here for the Indigenous All Stars. Tackles up their sleeve. Tallis Duncan in midfield. Happy to just take the 5th. Watson to Jaden Campbell. Dances back in field, running across the posts. Just happy to settle things down here for the last play. Puru kicks him behind the line, and it's too deep. Kalyn Ponga just shadows this comfortably over the dead ball line. And a positive set there comes to a fairly negative end. It must be said. 8.5 gone, no score. Well, we've been expecting a high-scoring game. It's not really eventuated at the moment. I mean, it's only 9 minutes in, of course. No need to panic. But I thought we might have had some points on the board already by now. Is pretty much what I'm suggesting. As the Maori now take it up over halfway. Keeping the ball alive. Docker Clay into contact. On play 3, here's Fisher Harris on a big charge. The new warrior, James Fisher Harris. And they've spilt the ball. Jeremy Marshall King has gone goofed and dropped the ball at first receiver. Simple error. Such a simple error. Yeah, my bad, he says, as he raises his hand in apology to his teammates. Let off there for the Indigenous All Stars. They'll have the scrum feed. 30 out from their own line in midfield. Straight up the middle. And over halfway. Short side play. Watson to Puru. Goes into contact on his own. Dan Jam says, do you think Ponga will get any backlash not wanting to play for Australia but willing to play for the Maori? Good Lord, Dan Jam. He already has. It's been incredible, the coverage here in Australia, the uproar. I mean, me personally, I don't care. He can do whatever he wants, but yeah, it's happened, mate. Yeah, 100%. The media especially are all over him. Crossfield kick here on the 5th and last. Tapped back by the Indigenous All Stars. Numbers to the left. If they can get it out there, it's very scrappy out the back. Here's Jaden Campbell. Slips. Gets up. Slips again. Keeping the ball alive. Back for the hammer. Kicks in behind the line, but it sits up here for Nickel Clockstadt at the back. And the Maori have it 22 out. Well, 20 metres out from their own line. Yeah, the poor guy has been getting torn to shreds, Dan Jam. It's quite embarrassing, really, to be honest. I mean, he's got dual heritage, much like myself. I mean, if I were playing professional rugby league, I could nominate. I could play for Ireland if I wanted to. Ponga here, speak of the devil, through the hands. The Maori attack the left-hand edge. And falling to ground is Jesse Arthurs on the 5th and last. On halfway, Ponga puts the kick high. This is contestable. Taken, though, by the Indigenous All Stars. And Jaden Campbell has been deemed to be taken out in the air. And this is a penalty for the Indigenous All Stars. And yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Just making contact in the air there, dropping the shoulder in. Was that Xavier Willison? Yeah, well, that'd be right. Bronco player. Defunk says Aussie media doesn't understand culture being more important than capitalism, ultimately. Yeah, that's probably a fair call. Indigenous All Stars now up over halfway. Hohepa Puru plays it on play 2. Josh Kerr straight up the middle. Oh, that's not Kerr. Sorry, that's Jacob Sykes. 30 metres out now in midfield. Campbell kicks in behind the line. Nobody at the back there for the Maori. Ponga shadows it over the dead ball line. 7 tackle set incoming. 13 and a half gone, still no score. I'm surprised by that. I honestly thought we might have had a try by now. Let's see, we declined doing Super Rugby so we could cover this game. Let's hope that we're not getting a blockbuster game in the rugby as the Maori spill the ball forward. High fives all around for the Indigenous defence. Forcing the mistake, they can go back on the attack. Half-time. The Force and Moana Pacifica. Pacifica leading 27-24, so we do have a bit of a clash going on there. Scrum down. Campbell to Puru. Now Whiten. Through the hands, they go to the left. Marshall King sends it back right. Puru. 30 meters out. Staying on this right-hand edge. Duncan. Driving forward in a three-man tackle. 15 out now. The Indigenous All Stars. 6 again. Oh, that's huge. Skies keeps it alive. And Campbell, dummies, makes half a break. Gets up and goes again. 10 meters out on play one. Golden opportunity here. Puru, dummies. Tries on his own. He's wrapped up 5 out. Watson, short ball for Josh Kerr. A meter short. Sykes it was, sorry. Watson again, left for Puru. And heading back towards the post, Dylan Lucas. Tackle 4, still a meter short. Here they come right now. Puru to Campbell. Looks to tap the ball on. And it's been lost forward. And the Maori defend well. 16 minutes gone, no score. Well, this might go completely against expectation. We were talking in the chat room earlier about a high-scoring game being expected. Could very well go against the flow. Oh, there's... Peace. There's Latrell Mitchell on the sideline. A very, very fit and firm-looking Latrell Mitchell. I was talking about that earlier as well. Latrell looking very, very solid as Dane Gagai spills the ball. That's a big mistake on play one. And the Indigenous All Stars are pumped up, forcing the error. They're going to have a scrum down here, 10 meters out from the line. Ready to go on the attack again. Dane Gagai, the veteran. A big mistake. Scrum down in midfield, 10 meters out. Huge opportunity here. Numbers are here on the near side, but they go left. Connor Watson scoots out at the base of the ruck. Takes tackle 1, 10 meters out. Duncan almost goes through half a gap. Just a couple of meters short here. A set restart to boot. Puru to Campbell. Inside ball for Curran. Curran stands in the tackle. And he's uprooted 5 meters out. Watson takes a few steps. Fires it across into midfield. Tackle 3. Still inside the 10 meters. Crash ball for Puru. Well defended from the Maori. Now they release it wide to the right. They've got numbers. Double pump from Campbell. Holds the pass up perfectly. But the Maori slide across, scrambling in defense. And the tackle is made on Munro, just 2 meters short. Back into midfield go the Indigenous All Stars, 5th and last. 10 meters out. Right in front of the posts. They go left. Puru. Grubber's in behind the line. Needs it to sit up. Oh, and it's tapped dead by Warbrick. Will Warbrick just gets enough contact on it to send it over the dead ball line. They've only just held on there, the Maori. The Indigenous All Stars looking very, very slick early on here. Oh, and we're coming back to the 20. So the bunker has intervened here and said 20-meter restart. It's gone dead off the Indigenous All Stars. Not touched by Will Warbrick. So there you go. Big call, that one. Big call. And the Maori up over halfway already. Here's Jazz Tavanga. Pops the ball back for Willison. Xavier Willison charges straight over the top of Curran. Quick play the ball. And suddenly they're on the attack here, the Maori. Nikarima to Ponga. Gagai steps back in field. Beats one. Brought down by the hammer. They're inside the 20, though, the Maori. Oh, quarter time siren sounds. Well, that's a momentum killer. A bloody quarter time siren. What a momentum kill. "20 minutes gone, no score." I've got to say, that's a little bit surprising. We are not that far away from the season proper, though. NRL, just a couple of weeks away, and we'll be in Vegas ready to kick off the season. And for the season ahead, if you would like to join the Wasted World of Sports completely for free, wastedsports.com.au/games. We'll be running a tipping and fantasy comp for the NRL season 2025. Wastedsports.com.au. That's our official website. And you'll find links over there to join NRL fantasy and NRL tipping for the season ahead. Quarter time here, no score. Indigenous All Stars versus Māori All Stars. We thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. Well, we might have to rethink that. What do you reckon, D-Funk? Wasted World of Sports live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. We thought for sure this was going to be a very high-paced, high-scoring game. Well, it's been high-paced. Certainly can't argue that. But definitely not high scoring. Plenty of time left, though, right? I mean, it could open up in the second half. Still plenty of time for anything to happen in this game. Blood Surge. You need Kalyn Ponga to score 2. I'll be happy if he scores 1. Kalyn Ponga, the hammer, Kalyn Ponga, and Will Warbrick. I'm starting to regret my decision of 4 legs, though. The longer this game goes on with no score, C says waiting to see Jesse McLean tonight. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I was just talking before, wastedsports.com.au to grab links to join our NRL fantasy and NRL tipping for season 2025. And I'll tell you what, Casey McLean is somebody that I'm keeping an eye on. I've got a feeling that Casey will get the first crack on the wing for the Panthers, and I reckon he might just be a bargain purchase for my fantasy team. D-Funk says, when I saw Hammer at fullback, I did think he might have a quiet game on the try-scoring front. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously been named at fullback, but there's unlimited replacements in this game. And I should imagine that he will get some game time either in the centres or on the wing at some point tonight. Zed Parker, 77. Why are they doing quarters? My guess is a combination of just the fact that it's the preseason. So players are still potentially not fully match fit. So it'd be sort of a it'd be kind of a trade-off with the clubs for allowing their players to participate. Let's not overexert them. Because you've got to remember, like, a lot of players were pulled out of this game when the teams were initially announced. I was looking through the initial team sheets and I went, we're not even going to bother covering this game. And I think what happened is the NRL probably got involved and said, look, we need to sell tickets to this game. Can you make some players available? For the love of God, please make some players available. And I feel like it might have been a trade-off. It's a combination of just preseason and maybe a trade-off with the clubs. But anyway, it certainly killed the momentum that the Maori had. They were going on the attack. They still had a couple of tackles up their sleeve. And now they've come up with a mistake from the restart. The quarter-time restart. They've dropped the ball. And the Indigenous All Stars will go straight back on the attack. Yeah, quarters just don't work for rugby league. I'm sorry. Maori had them under the pump. They had all the momentum going forward. And then a stupid quarter-time siren. Bloody sounds. Unbelievable. The initial team lists were on the NRL website as the Indigenous All Stars attack inside the 10-metre line. Pressure on. Here's the hammer. One out from the ruck. Half a metre short, Defunk. Half a metre short. Here's Puru. Inside ball for Steep. 6 again. Another set restart here for the Indigenous All Stars. 10 metres out. Duncan in midfield, right in front of the post. Taken down on play 1. Inside the 10. They go right. Short pass from Puru. Just a couple of metres short here. Poor delivery there to Tallis Duncan. Spills it behind him. And the Maori dive on the loose ball. They're off the hook. What a big mistake. And now they get a penalty. Doubling down on the error. A penalty. And they can clear their lines now. Keefe, 685. Ahoy, mate. Jason Calloway says, did you see the Warriors thrash the Storm, Dan? Do you think the Warriors will make the 8 in 2025? Well, for trial games, the preseason challenge is just that. It's a trial game. I wouldn't read anything at all into preseason form. That said, I mean, the Warriors can make the 8, of course. But I wouldn't base any of that on the preseason challenge. The Maori get a 6 again, straight up the middle. Goes Curtis Moran. Plays the ball 30 out. Short pass from Nikarima. Opens up half a gap. And just brought to ground there, Jacob Laban. Inside the 10. They're close. Nicarima across field. Holds the pass up for Willison. Loses it behind him. And the Indigenous All Stars dive on it. Xavier Willison, another mistake. Well, I think Willison's had like 3 touches for 2 mistakes. And the Indigenous All Stars now bring it away from their own end. 24 minutes gone, no score. Can you believe it? "24 gone, no score." Hammer keeps it alive for Jaden Campbell. Up towards halfway. Gets the ball free. Curran up over the halfway line now. Needs support. Drag to ground. Just inside Maori territory. In midfield. Was that ball touched by the Maori? Oh, it's lost by the Indigenous All Stars. In contact. And the Maori come away with it. Well, mistakes from both sides. Proving very costly. Gagai from dummy half now. As they look to counter-attack. Warbrick brings it outside the 40. Here's Ponga. Oh, that's a high shot. High contact and a penalty against Brian Kelly. Tempers boiling over. A lot of shirt grabbing. A lot of push and shove. Of course, you're not allowed to punch anymore. So that's about all that will happen. Penalty here on the halfway line to the Maori. And Brian Kelly, he just got that a little wrong. There was no malice in it. But a clear high tackle, a clear penalty. The players took exception to it. Nicarima puts it into touch. 30 meters out from the line. Can we finally break this deadlock? 25 and a half minutes in. Keanu Kinney it was who got caught in that high shot. Mind you, Keanu Kinney's like 4 foot tall, so it's pretty hard to tackle him below the neck, in fairness. Royce Hunt's back out there, so that's good news for the Maori, good news for the Tigers. That injury scare early on amounts to nothing. Ponga runs obstruction, gives himself up and surrenders in the tackle. 20 meters out. Tavanga in a dummy half. Last play now. Short side they go. Ponga takes it to the line. Offloads back to Ruben Porter. Ponga from dummy half. Chips in behind the line. Straight down the gullet of Connor Watson. And the Indigenous All Stars have it just a couple of meters out from their own try line. Jack Whiten here goes on a big dart. He's taken down by Jazz Tavanga. The Indigenous All Stars keep it alive. Bringing it outside their own 20. Still in midfield. Munro plays it. They're up quickly, the Maori. Too quickly, perhaps. No call from the referee. Thought that might have been a penalty. Big charge now for Josh Kerr. Fifth and last. The kick from inside the 40. Puru. Taken on the fall by Ponga at the back. Brings it back to the 30-meter line, appealing for a penalty there to the referee, but nothing incoming. Nickel Clogstat plays it. And the Maori up to the 40-meter line. Tavanga goes quickly. He's got Fisher Harris running off his shoulder. Fifth and last on the halfway line. Now just beyond Nicarima. Oh, they're going on a dart here. Ponga keeps it alive. Warbrick cuts back in field. Still going Warbrick. Floats the pass back in field to Keanu Kinney. Taken inside the 10. Staying on the short side. Gagai changes direction. Looks to grub it through. Was that played at? Yes, it was. 6 more tackles. And Will Warbrick surrenders, knowing they've got 6 more. 28 gone. They still can't break this deadlock. Royce Hunt. Straight up the middle. 10 meters out. Nikorima to Kinney. Kinney pops it up. And Jesse McLean steps back in field. That's who we were waiting for. Someone was waiting for Jesse McLean. Well, here he is. Nikorima inside ball. Play 4 now. Inside the 10. Tavanga. To Nikorima. Now Ponga puts the grubber kick through. Needing it to sit up for Warbrick. It's loose on the ground and the Indigenous All Stars dive on it. Oh, it was sitting perilously there. And our boy, Will Warbrick, was so close. It was there for the taking. Connor Crowley, ahoy, mate. Yes, this game is on Channel 9. A free broadcast. Oh, Will Warbrick's been called for a knock on here, so he wouldn't have scored the try anyway. "30 minutes gone, no score. I can't believe it. Is this going to be another 1-0 game?" Waste of Water Sports, we had the privilege of covering the opening game of Super League. Wigan Warriors versus the Lee Leopards. And it went to Golden Point at 0-0. And the Leopards won 1-0. Are we going to see something similar here tonight? As big defense again from the Maori, driving the Indigenous All Stars towards the sideline. Tackled 15 meters out from their own line. Big defense here. Fisher, Harris, and Royce Hunt. What a big 1-2 punch. Flying up again in defense, the Maori. 3 tackles gone. They're only just outside their 20 here. The Indigenous All Stars. And knocked on. No, this will be illegal. Play the ball. Yes. Incorrect. Play the ball. They are cracking down on that in 2025. You've got to make contact with your boot when you play the ball. You can't just roll it back between your legs, tunnel ball style. That's the first one we've seen in this game. The Maori can go on the attack. It is a crackdown. Improper play the balls. That is the mandate for season 2025, at least to start the season. And we've seen the first one called tonight. The Maori now go on the attack. 15 out. Nikorima. Back inside for Gagai. Beats the first tackle. Almost spills the ball, Gagai. Tania Godwin, ahoy. Another freezing morning in the Highlands of Scotland. Tavanga from dummy half. He's got Fisher Harris running off his shoulder. 5 meters out. Ponga. On to Keanu Kinney. 5th and last. 10 meters out. Ponga at first receiver. Crossfield kick. It's in the end goal. Warbrick fights through for it. And over the dead ball line it goes. 32 minutes gone, no score. UFC says it's a fair crackdown. Only half the play the balls last year were legit. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100% UFC. I think it's absolutely fair. I mean, it's one of the basics of the game. It's one of the first things as a junior, well, back when I played anyway, which, yeah, in fairness was a long time ago. But back when I played, one of the first things you learned as a junior was how to play the ball. Catch, pass, tackle, play the ball with your foot. What we learned. And then, and only then, Did we upgrade to sidesteps? Fifth and last now, the Indigenous All Stars. 30 out from the Maori line. Puru puts the kick high and lost forward by Keanu Kinney. It's there for Josh Curran, who sweeps on the loose ball, and the deadlock is finally broken. Josh Curran scores under the posts. His glorious headgear and all. The Indigenous All Stars 4-0. Who had Josh Curran in their multi? Not me. Keanu Kinney coming up with the spilt ball. Try time at last. It only took 33.5 minutes. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I thought about him as well. Thought about him. Because he's a try-scoring machine. Let's face it. The dude scored tries for fun throughout the season last year. We probably should have thought a lot more about it. This is what I get for slapping on a bet during the second half of another game rather than waiting and actually thinking about it. That's what I get, man. It's my own fault. Josh Curran and that majestic headgear over. He dives to score the... Oh, wait just a minute. Wait just a minute. Decision under review. The deadlock might not be broken yet. We are looking at Hammer perhaps obstructing Nickel Clockstad here. The Hammer has grabbed Nickel Clockstad, and he wasn't going to stop him. He wasn't going to stop him, in fairness, but the Hammer has grabbed Nickel Clockstad. See? Hammer wants first try. No try. It's coming back for a penalty. A cheeky little grab by the Hammer, obstructing Sean's Nickel Clockstad, who wasn't going to stop the try anyway, let's be honest. But rules are rules. And that is a penalty to the Maori. The try scrubbed out. Nick Clark, ahoy mate. Welcome along. Big defense. Big defense there from the Indigenous All Stars. Tie foot. Ahoy. Blood cert. Nobody has scored yet. Levi, 824. Ahoy there. Yeah, no try scorers yet. Blood cert. 34.5 minutes gone. No score. Honestly, we're going to get 1-0 in Golden Point, aren't we? Just like the Super League game. No, Levi, Josh Curran dived under the posts and scored, but Hammer was pinged for an obstruction on Chan's Nickel Clockstad. So it was a penalty to the Maori under TMO review. And here is the Hammer bringing the kick return out. 30 metres out from their own line now, the Indigenous All Stars. Jack Whiten brought down. Quick play the ball, a quick ball here. Puru to the line. Offloads for Dylan Lucas. Just inside Maori half. Duncan again. Fifth and last. 40 metres out in midfield. And oh no. Oh no. You can't believe it. Illegitimate play the ball again. No contact with the foot. And that's a handover for the Maori. They start this set on their own 40-meter line. I can't believe that they don't get this right. How hard is it to make contact with your boot when you play the ball? Maybe we should try it out. What I'm thinking is I'm thinking maybe we do a Wasted Water Sports skills test. Dan versus Michelle. What do we got? 4,265 YouTube subscribers. What if we say at 5,000, a 5,000 subscriber celebration, we do a skill test? Dan versus Michelle. Kalyn Ponga plays it on play 2. 20 meters out in midfield. Here's Royce Hunt standing in the 2-man tackle. 3 minutes to go till the halftime break. Fisher Harris rumbles forward. 6 more again. Well, here is a golden opportunity now for the Maori. Tavanga in a dummy half. To Nikarima. Crash ball for Leo Thompson. Brought down 5 meters out. Keanu Kinney is out there, yes. A kick on play 1. Well, Jeremy Marshall-King. Oh, it was Tavanga. Sorry, I'm blaming Jeremy Marshall-King. It was Jazz Tavanga kicking on tackle 1. Did he know it was tackle 1? Well, Jazz Tavanga's had the brain fart of all brain farts there, and he is kicked on play 1. Goal line restart anyway for the Indigenous All Stars. They go short. Just goes the 10. It's tapped back, and Kalyn Ponga dives on the loose ball. So they're still in possession. There is Keanu Kinney in midfield. Pops it up for Leo Thompson. 20 meters out now, just to the left of the post here. The Maori on play 2. Nikarima, inside ball for Royce Hunt. Takes it to within 10. Shaq Mitchell makes the tackle. Tavanga to Nikarima. Here's Keanu Kinney. Out the back to Nickel Clockstadt. Brought to ground, 10 out. 2 left. Keanu Kinney dancing around in midfield. Sorry, skipper. Copyright and all. Crossfield kick. Will Warbrick is out there charging through, but it's caught on the full in the end goal. Amazing take by Khan Pereira. Perfectly positioned himself. And we are looking like going into halftime, no score. This is incredible. Here on the Wasted Water Sports, they've spilt it on halfway here, the All Stars, the Indigenous All Stars. And the Maori look to counter-attack. Straight out wide it goes to Will Warbrick. 30 seconds until the halftime break. Xavier Willison up over halfway. We covered the opening game of the Betfred Super League. Wigan Warriors versus Lee Leopards as Ponga grubbers in behind the line. And it's well collected by Tyrone Munro. And that will be the halftime break. No score. Wigan Warriors, Lee Leopards, 0-0 after 80 minutes. Went to Golden Point. And the Leopards won 1-0 with a drop goal in Golden Point. Are we about to see that happen here? 0-0 at halftime. Unbelievable. Crazy stuff. All right. Quick break. I'll be right back. Kalyn Ponga. Can we make any sense out of it? 0 apiece at halftime. Unbelievable. Well, I've got to say, my 4-leg same-game multi is feeling pretty shaky. What can you do? Tania Godwin says, bit of a shocker. No score after 30-odd minutes. Well, now 40 minutes. Yes and no. I talked about this in the Betfred Super League game as well. Like, just because it's 0-0 doesn't mean it's been a bad game, per se. Now, there's been some shocking handling, but we are still effectively in the preseason. Let's remember, the season proper is still a couple of weeks away. Well, a week away. A couple of weeks away for most teams. So we do have to take that into account. I don't think that 0-0 necessarily equates to a bad game. There's been some solid defense. Yeah, UFC, Curran's try was disallowed because Hammer had a cheeky little grab at Chance Nickel Clockstat. Look, for mine, Nickel Clockstat was not going to stop the try anyway. But you put hands on another player, you're bloody putting it into the hands of the officials, right? You put your hands on the opposition. It becomes the discretion of the officials, and in fairness, it was probably the right call. I mean, to the letter of the law, I don't think Nickel Clockstat was going to get anywhere near Josh Curran to save that try. BMW, my wife for life. 40 minutes, no scores. And this is starting to become a trend for me anyway. Here on the Waste of World Sports, we covered the opening game of the Super League, Betfred Super League, Wigan Warriors, the defending champions, versus the Lee Leopards. 80 minutes, 0-0. It went to Golden Point, and the Leopards eventually got the 1-0 victory. Are we in for something similar here tonight? Is it going to be a defensive-oriented game? Are we going to get 1-0 in Golden Point? Oh, when they said here in this halftime entertainment, they're announcing the halftime entertainment, and it's like, let us introduce one of New Zealand's greatest bands. I thought they were going to say Split Ends. Oh, good Lord. So there's halftime entertainment as well. NRL Super King, ahoy. This is a tough game, says NRL Super King. Yeah, look, I think it was a harsh call. K6. I thought it was a rough call. I mean, Hammer did have his hands on him, but there was no way, in my mind, there was no way Nickel Clockstat was stopping that try. Not a chance. I mean, he was like 5 meters away. A 5-meter head start that close to the line. Josh Curran is scoring 99 times out of 100. But, I mean, look, that's the rules. Hammer took the punt, put his hands on the opposition. I think it was a very rough call, but You can't really argue with it. It is what it is. Tanya Godwin says, a week away. They all should have their game on by now. Yes and no, Tanya. Like, I mean, no, he definitely put his hands on him. Frick cheese. Hammer very purposely reached out. Yeah, it wasn't incidental contact. But the thing also to remember, Tanya, is an All Stars game like this, these players don't necessarily always play with each other. Sorry, I'm such a child. The combinations aren't necessarily going to be there. So, I mean, it's a glorified exhibition game. It's a trial game. It's an exhibition game. We can't expect a Panthers vs. Storm grand final type display, right? We can't really expect that. These players, there's not exactly a lot of combinations amongst the teams. So, I mean, there's been solid defense as well. Like, let's honestly not take anything away from the defensive efforts. On a non-sports related note, Mr. Ez Dead has said, you hear Ozzy Osbourne is doing his last concert with a reunion with Black Sabbath. Yes, I did hear that. Killer lineup. Good on Ozzy. Good on Ozzy. Frick Cheese. No, I didn't. I didn't actually see the game. I was covering the Super Rugby earlier on, so I didn't catch it. M says, I reckon they should scrap preseason and this game and bring back the nines. Well, you can't scrap preseason because players need a warm-up. I'd be on board for bringing the nines back, though. Well, make it a sevens. It used to be sevens. It was an Auckland thing. It was that promoter in Auckland who was like, I don't want to do the same thing. Let's make it nines. But you know what I say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There was nothing wrong with 7-a-side. I wouldn't mind seeing a sevens league tournament back again. There's obviously the sevens rugby circuit, but I think it's overdone now. Like this, the beauty of sevens rugby was always it was a spectacle. It was a once or twice a year thing. It was a spectacle, a special occasion. No, absolutely not, Johnny Watt. It's rugby union cannot claim 7-a-side. Rugby union cannot claim sevens. Rugby league had sevens way before the rugby union were doing their annual sevens tour. It was only when as I said, only when the promoter in Auckland decided we're going to do something different, do nines. That's the only reason nines came up. It should be 7-a-side. That was always the thing for both codes. UFC says D Cash, tell us about the last time you needed to get your phone screen repaired. Really? It's not exactly an exciting story. It's really not. Leonardo likes art. Thoughts on the Big X so far? Well, he's been pretty crap, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, he's been pretty awful. Shemanem asks, where would you put the Nines competition, though? That's the thing. Well, as I said, I wouldn't have it as Nines. I would go back to Sevens, like it used to be. And, geez, I mean, you have it in Auckland or you have it in Brisbane. That's where the crowds are going to get pulled. Oh, when in the year? Well, the suggestion is in the preseason. Mr. Ed's Dead says, if I had gotten married, it would be in England to maybe see it, the show. Tanya Godwin says, I watched a documentary on the Maori All Blacks versus Japan. They prepped a week before and still won. Oh, the Maori All Blacks. Are you saying that is this an unrelated topic, Tanya, or is the suggestion that these teams could be better in sync with each other, using the basis that the Maori All Blacks only had a week to prepare? Sherman M says, do you think replacing preseason with the Nines competition would still be enough training for them, or Sevens? Oh, well, it would just be an additional thing. It wouldn't be a replacement for anything. You would still do your preseason trial games. Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be a replacement. It'd just be, oh my God. Second half underway. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's my dog taking offense to something out there. The hell? Sorry, I know the second half just got underway. Like, the second half literally just started, but honestly, when you're home alone and your dog barks as aggressively as she just did, I had to go and check out what all the fuss was about. The Indigenous All Stars on the attack here, 30 meters out from the line. 20 meters now as Kerr goes on a good dart. Down the short side. Flat pass. Inside the 10 meters they go. Through the hands into midfield. Dylan Lucas puts the step on. 2 meters short. Quick play the ball. And finally, Shaq Mitchell. Shaq Mitchell reaches out and plants it down. The deadlock is broken. Shaq Mitchell with the opening try. The deadlock is finally broken. Very early in the second half. And I'll tell you what, for people that haven't seen it, Latrell Mitchell is looking very fit. I reckon Latrell is going to have a breakout season. Try confirmed. Vincent Spears music, ahoy. From a standing start too, Shaq Mitchell swivels. Gets away from the tackle, spins. Gets the go-go gadget arms, plants it down under the posts. Wait, there's crossbar signage? Oh my God, there's crossbar signage. Yeah, that's kind of cringy, to be honest. KFC across the crossbar. Conversion successful. I hadn't even noticed. I actually legitimately needed it pointed out to me by Kyle in the chat room. My God, now I will not be able to unsee it. It's actually a monstrously large crossbar, isn't it? It's ridiculous looking with the LEDs, with the advertising across it. Brooke Moore, the try scorer, Shaq Mitchell for the Indigenous All Stars. Conversion by Puru, and the Indigenous All Stars lead 6-0. Well, hopefully that breaks the shackles a wee bit and we get some big try scoring. Because I still need all 4 legs of my multi. Indigenous lead 6-0. And Brian Kelly now goes on a good dart. They've got their tails up. Here's Shaq Mitchell again. A big charge up to the 40 meters line. On play 3, staying on the short side. A nice pop pass, keeping the ball alive. And now Munro steps back in field, slips over his own feet. And goes to ground on play 4, 30 meters out. Going straight back on the attack here. The Indigenous All Stars. Hohepa Puru. 5th and last. 20 meters out in midfield. Puru puts the kick for the corner. It bounces. It's sitting loose on the ground. And the Hammer swoops to score. The Hammer has scored. There is a tick off the multi. The Hammer is in. Oh, the tries are flowing now. What a pickup. The ball was just sitting there prone on the ground. The kick from Puru. Oh, that might be a knock-on. Carl Pereira. They might have a closer look at this. There goes my dog again. She's barking at something out there. They might have a closer look at this touch from Carl Pereira. It's off his hand and gone forward, I think. Oh, please allow it. Please, for the sake of my multi, allow it. It's off the elbow. That's fine, right? It hit his elbow. That's all good. Come on, please award it. Carl Pereira's up for it. It's off his upper arm. That's fine. No! No! Decision under review. Okay, they're looking at a couple of things here. All right, so Dane Gagai is going to get penalised for an escort. Should the try not be allowed? That's not a knock on, for the love of God. How is the ball hitting your arm a knock on? Oh, well, we'll take this off the multi. It didn't touch his hand, it hit his arm. Penalty, though, the pressure is still on, but we'll take that try off. We'll take that tick off the multi away. Unbelievable. That is pedantic. That is the very definition of pedantic. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. Your girlfriend Jasmine says ahoy. Nice footwork here in the Indigenous All Stars. Barge over the line. Hohepa Puru held up over the line. Has to go back to the 10 metres line to play it. Play 3. Watson out wide to the right they go. Hammer has to reach back for it. They've lost some ground here, but still a couple of tackles left. Puru onto Lucas. Slips. We've seen a few players slip tonight. Fifth and last. 10 metres out. Watson to Puru. Grubbers in behind the line. It sits up for the Māori All Stars who grounded in goal. And this will be a goal line dropout. Ollie is the best. Who's a cheeky monkey? Austin, Denver, Jonathan, Aaron, Charlotte, Matthew, Sarah, Reed, or Isaac. Oh, God, no, definitely Charlotte. Definitely Charlotte. That is the cheekiest of cheeky names. If I've ever heard cheeky names, has to be Charlotte, hands down. Indigenous All Stars spill it forward. The Maori come away with it. Jesse Arthurs goes on a good run. Ponga in at first receiver. Takes it outside the 40. Just short of the halfway line. Nikarima takes it into contact. Fisher Harris rumbling straight ahead. 6 points to 0 it is. 46 minutes gone. Xavier Willison takes it to just outside the 20. Fifth and last here for the Maori. Docker Clay pops up the short ball for Jordan Ricky. And much like the Broncos in the grand final, Jordan Ricky surrenders on the fifth and last inside the 20 metres line. Mr. Law, 82, says this is why I stopped watching league. Just some stupid calls that really boils my blood. And by God, Mr. Laws, we've seen a few of them tonight. We have seen a few cringeworthy decisions, in my opinion. Big defense here from the Maori. Hammer in at first receiver. Pops the pass up for Puru. Fifth and last. Watson darts out at dummy half. Down to Ponga on the full. Ponga stays on the short side. Dangerously close to the sideline. Manages to stay in field. The question's been asked a lot tonight if I'm on kick. I'm not. And to be honest, I don't know what kick is. Marshall King scoots out a dummy half. People seem to be under the impression that, I know that it's a streaming service, but people seem to be under the impression that I can somehow show the game on kick, which you obviously can't because copyright rules still apply no matter which platform you're on. I don't understand why people don't realize copyright is a thing that exists. 10 meters out from the line here, the Indigenous All Stars in possession. Josh Curran rocked backwards in the tackle. It absolutely matters on kick. Yeah, kick are not immune to copyright laws. I'm sorry to tell you. It might take a while before kick gets known enough for copyright bandits to actually care. But it'll happen, and it'll happen hard. Kai Charnock up the Indigenous. Maori in possession now, up towards the halfway line. "50 minutes gone, 6 points to 0. Low scoring game. "40 meters out from the line. Docker Clay pops the pass up. Jordan Ricky plays it 30 meters out. Nikarima steps in field. Grubbers through for himself. Bumped off the ball. Still on here for the Māori. Keeping the ball alive. Marshall King gets the second kick away. And Brian Kelly dives on it a meter out from the try line. And they get a penalty now, the Indigenous All Stars. Ed Vogel, ahoy, mate. How are you, Ed? Is Walsh injured? I don't think he's injured, but I think he was busy tonight. He was doing a new makeup class, from what I understand, so he wasn't available for this game. The real thing, is it really only 6-0? Yes, it is. 52 minutes gone, only 6-0. And the Indigenous All Stars in possession. Bringing it up to the 40-meter line. On play 4. Just beyond Poro. Inside pass. Fifth and last now, just on halfway. Short side for Poro to kick high. Planting himself under it. Here's Keanu Kinney. Returns it back into midfield. He's met hard there in the tackle. Josh Kerr. Oh no, that's Jacob Skies. Not the first time I've got those two confused. Maori come up with the spilt ball. And the Indigenous All Stars now on the attack inside the 22. And they spill the ball. Double knock on Central. First one by the Maori. Is he going to call advantage played or what? Which way is this call going to fall? Oh, 100% Kyle. Oh, hammers off the field. I wonder if he's going to come back on. I think our multi's probably shot to pieces anyway. In fairness. Kyle, I love a good defensive game, a low-scoring defensive bludger of a game. I love it. I mean, I've enjoyed this game. I really have. There's been a couple of comments in the chat room about how it's been dull and boring. I've actually really enjoyed it. I love a good slugfest. 54 minutes gone, 6-0, the Indigenous All Stars. I mean, obviously, I would love a lot more tries to be scored because I've got a 4-leg try scorer multi. But it's just not meant to be tonight as Docker Clay keeps the ball alive. Back for Kinney. Nickel Clockstad in midfield. Taken down just over the halfway line in midfield. Play 4. Curtis Morin takes it 10 metres forward. 5th and last. Docker Clay puts the kick high. Oh, this is contestable. Pressure at the back on Campbell. He does well to take it. Flies through the air and takes it. What a catch. And the Indigenous All Stars back in possession. Here's Jack Whiten. Held up. Driven backwards. Curran brings it outside the 30. Fends off one. He's now dragged backwards and to ground. Oh, I need a Super Rugby update. Moana Pacifica versus the Western Force. Indigenous All Stars put the kick through. Oh, 45-44 at full time. The Force with the win. Wow. Sounds like we might have made a mistake by choosing this one over the Super Rugby. Super Rugby going down to the wire once more. Lifting tackle there on halfway surely. And the penalty does go to the Māori. Well, will this spark something for the Māori? Tensions boil over. Push and shove. No malice in it, really, but lifting beyond the horizontal. Tania Godwin says if you want to watch something, try Calcio. Is that it? Calcio Storico. Florence. 54-man game of footy. The most violent game on the planet. Actually, here's something fun to watch as well. If anyone's got some spare time. Jump on YouTube, and there was a soccer, like we call it soccer here in Australia, but football in other countries, European countries especially. But Japan did an exhibition match, 100 kids, like age 9 children, 100 kids versus like 10 soccer pros, as Jesse Arthurs puts the fend on out of absolutely nowhere. The Māori have hit back. I'm telling a YouTube video story, and here come the Māori, spreading it wide to the right. It was a one-on-one tackle, missed. Jesse Arthurs with the big don't argue, and he has just bumped off Cam Pereira to score. 6 points to 4, kick to come. Jesse Arthurs, the big left-hand fan. Hiroti with the conversion attempt. One of my Sharkies boys, if I'm not mistaken. 20 meters out. About 5 in from touch. Not exactly on the favoured side for a right-footed kicker. Moves in, strikes it, hooks it away to the left. 6 points to 4 it remains. Six points to 4. No ticks off the multi. That's embarrassing. 60 minutes gone. Not a single tick off the multi. In fairness, I feel like we were robbed out of one. I do feel like we were robbed out of the hammer. The restart close to the sideline. Maori take it. And now they're getting driven towards the sideline themselves. And they're in touch. That's huge defense from the Indigenous All Stars. From the kickoff, driving the Maori over the sideline. Oh, I'm with you, Kyle. I'm 100% with you. Ever since you brought it up, I can't unsee it. That ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, it's like bloody Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4. Ever since you brought it up, I can't unsee it. It's just there. This big bastard of a thing in the middle of the field with a KFC logo across it. That would have to be distracting if taking your goal kicks as well, for sure. 6 more here for the Indigenous All Stars. I'd actually tell them to turn it off. If I'm taking a shot at goal, I'm like, turn that bastard off. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. It's in my eye line. Campbell steps back in field. Tries to duck under the tackle of Docker Clay. 5 meters out here. And... oh, that's quarter time. 3/4 time. 3/4 time. And, in fairness, that has now evened out the momentum kill. We saw the Maori have their momentum killed at the 20-minute mark. We've now seen it happen to the Indigenous All Stars at the 60-minute mark. I completely forgot about we're playing this game in quarters. UFC, us who I think will win this. Oh, jeez. I mean, there's still 20 minutes to go. I think the class of the Maori might still see them through at the end. Captain Redbeard, ahoy! No, that's just for this game, Captain Redbeard. Just because it's a practice game, a trial, an exhibition. Playing it in quarters. Tania Godwin says Calcio is a version of rugby. Hang on. I'm going to look this up. I hope you're not sending me to some weird bloody... some weird thing that's going to hack my phone. Oh, this thing. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah. It is very brutal, isn't it? You know what? I never knew what it was called, but I have seen this many times before. I never knew what it was called. So there you go. Oh, that's very good to know. Yeah, that used to be on the TV when I was a kid, and I'd be flicking through the channels, and I'm like, what is this? They're killing each other. I love it. I never knew what it was called. So there you go. Three-quarter time. No, we are not watching the Aussie rules, but it is three-quarter time. Captain Redbeard is going for the Maori All Stars. Back in your grandfather's heritage. Nice, I'll drink to that. I'm going for the Maori All Stars back in my own heritage. Kai Charnock. Yes, it's kind of like rugby union in a way. $20 to go in this contest. 6 points to 4. And the Maori get us back underway. Shaq Mitchell winds up from the back fence. Gets the offload for Campbell. Campbell takes it out to the 20. Big defense here from the Maori. $20 to go. We're only are we seriously only a week away from the season proper? Kalyn Ponga on the sideline. Not good news for the multi. Let's face it, the multi shot to pieces anyway. Up over halfway now. The Indigenous All Stars on the attack. Fifth and last. Poro passes off. And the kick down as far as Will Warbrick plants himself under it. Michelle, ahoy. Funny, I was just talking about you. Well, half hour ago. Well, 60 minutes ago. Maori bringing it out from their own end now. 61.5 gone. At least we finally got some points on the board. Yeah, well, fifth and last here, the Maori on halfway. Docker Clay gets the kick downfield. Taken on the full at the back. Jaden Campbell heads across field, and he's wrapped up in the tackle by Keanu Kinney. 10 meters out from their own line here. The Indigenous All Stars. Well, what I was saying, Michelle, is for 5,000 subscriber special on YouTube, we should do a skills test because we've been talking about how poor the play the balls have been. We've seen more teams tonight pinged for illegitimate play the balls. It's like, how hard could it possibly be? Fifth and last here, Indigenous on halfway. Sullivan puts the kick down. Taken on the full at the back, Keanu Kinney. Will Warbrick changes direction, looks to fend on Curran. Here's Keanu Kinney, beats the first tackle. Kai Charnock says, you watch. They will bring Ponga on in the last 2 to 3 minutes. Jeez, is that enough time? They should bring him on for the last 10. And James Fisher-Harris spills the ball. And the Indigenous All Stars will be back in possession inside the Maori half. Or just leave him on the bench, says Michelle. See, that's where you're missed. Here beside me, those little cheeky one-liners. Tanya Godwin says it's like the gladiators in the arena minus the lions. Oh, sorry. For some reason, my mind just immediately went to Mike Whitney and Tanya Zayeda, gladiators. No, hang on. It wasn't. That was Who Dares Wins. Mike Whitney was on Gladiators, though, wasn't he? Tanya Zayeda wasn't. It was Kimberly Joseph. I think Mike Whitney was the referee. It was Kimberly Joseph. Tanya Zayeda was in Who Dares Wins with Mike Whitney. Loose ball. Intercept here for the Maori. And they break away. They're going to go length of the field here. Great chase and try-saving tackle by Brent Naden. It's still on, though, for the Maori. 2 meters short. Numbers to burn to the left. If they get the ball free, it's a simple try. Keanu Kinney is rocked backwards in the tackle. Brent Naden with an absolute try-saver. And now the ball is loose. The Indigenous All Stars look to dive on it. 12 meters out. I can't believe they didn't score there. Fisher Harris winds up. 5 meters out. Quick play the ball. Curtis Morin. A meter short. Fifth and last now. It's the fifth and last, you idiots. And Leo Thompson goes to ground. A meter out. Oh, Brent Naden, take a bow. This ball spills out the back. Brent Naden has raced across field, and I've got to say that Hiroti slowed up there. Whether he slowed up on purpose or just ran out of gas. Brent Naden, though, chopped him down a meter short. Libby, we have got 14 minutes remaining. 14 minutes to go. Here, Michelle, suss this out. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Calcio Storico. Calcio Storico. Well worth a look. If you don't know what it is already. I knew what it was, I just never knew what it was called. I used to watch this sport when I was a kid. Never knew what it was actually called. Calcio Storico. Calcio Storico. Calcio Storico. 20 meters out from the line. Here come the Maori again on the attack. Nikarima. Short pass for Ricky. A lot of Broncos in this game. Fifth and last. Docker Clay puts the kick high for the corner. Contestable. Maori win the high ball. And it opens up and the try is scored. Jacob Laban plants the ball down. And the Maori take the lead. A contestable kick out wide. The Maori win the ball in the air. Tapped backwards. And Jacob Laban scores the try. Maori lead 8 points to 6. Not a single freaking tick off my multi. Not one. Not a bloody one. Try confirmed. 8 points to 6. Conversion to come. Planting it down with one hand. Oh, risky business. I tell you what, I wouldn't be happy with that if I were a coach. Like, put it down properly, mate, please, for the love of God. Nikarima with the conversion, puts it over, and the Māori All Stars lead 10 points to 6. We're going into the final 10 minutes of this game. "69 minutes gone. Indigenous All Stars get us back underway. The kickoff is allowed to bounce, but it sits up nicely, and the Maori bring it back. Leo Thompson plays the ball, 12 out. Oh, big defense, but a nice run by the try scorer, Jacob Laban. Jazz Tavanga marching upfield, gets the offload. Second phase ball. Keanu Kinney's got space. Steps away from one. He's over halfway, Kinney. And then it's dumped in a huge tackle. Docker Clay onto Willison. Willison goes on his own. Gets the arms free. Beats one. Willison taken 30 meters out. That's a good charge. Marshall King down the short side with Docker Clay. Cuts back in field. 20 meters out. Short side they go. Nikarima chips in over the top. It's tapped back by Warbrick. Gagai keeps it alive. Tavanga now in midfield. Goes to ground 10 meters out. It just surrenders the ball. See, that was Dane Gagai, Michelle, not Jai Arrow. Ten minutes to go. 4 points the difference. Indigenous All Stars with the ball. Big hit by Nickel Clockstat. They've lost ground here, the Indigenous All Stars. Munro, I think it is there. Taken by Tavanga. 25 out from their own line, running out of tackles. That's the fifth and last now. And they're only as far as the 30. 9 minutes to go. Jaden Campbell gets good purchase on this, but taken on the full at the back. And here come the Māori All Stars now. Keanu Kinney back up towards halfway. Just short of the 50-meter mark. Warbrick takes it into Indigenous territory. 8 minutes to go. Here's Willison. Big leg drive. 30 meters out now on play 3. Tavanga. Oh, he hasn't played it properly. Xavier Willison. Oh, well, bloody Broncos. Bloody Broncos players. Bloody Broncos players not playing the ball correctly. And the Indigenous back in possession. 30 meters out from their own line. They go the short side. Curran backs into the defense. Tries to swivel out of the tackle, but he's brought down just short of halfway. Huge hit there. Chopping the legs out of Puru. Now up over halfway. Jaden Campbell slips. Gets up. Goes again. Offloads to nobody. But Alan Wick takes it. The loose ball. And the Indigenous All Stars still in possession. 40 meters out from the try line now on the fifth and last. 7 minutes to go. They go short side. High ball, contestable. Tap back by the Indigenous. It sits up in midfield. And it's been lost forward by... who else? Xavier Willison. Who else has knocked it on but Xavier bloody Broncos Willison? Too many Broncos players in this team. No wonder they're stinking up the joint. Bloody Broncos. Captain's challenge here on this call. But I'm afraid it was a pretty clear knock on. What they're hoping for is that this is a knock on against the Indigenous. But it's clearly gone backwards. And now here's Xavier Willison, the big Broncos goof, racing back to try and collect it. And, oh, it's gone straight through his hands, actually. Yeah, it's a pretty clear-cut knock-on, though. Failed captain's challenge. And with 7 minutes to go, the Indigenous All Stars will have scrum down right in front of the posts, 20 metres out. Well, not quite right in front. We brought it 10 metres to the side. 7 minutes remain. Anybody's game. Big play here. Scrum down. Indigenous All Stars have it. Wide to the right they go. Taken down. Jaden Campbell in the tackle. 20 metres out. Into midfield. Tallis Duncan. Goes into contact. 12 out. Stain on the left. Poodle. In front of the post. 10 out. They go right. Short pass for Curran. Curran is wrapped up. 3-man tackle. Dumped on his back. 2 tackles left here for the Indigenous All Stars. Numbers to the left. Whiten feeds the pass on for Brent Naden. And Brent Naden plants it down in the corner. He has the strength in the tackle to stay in field. And he pops it down in the corner. 10 points all. Kick to come. Brent Naden, premiership winner, former Panther. And now he has leveled things for his team. Oh, maybe. His foot's gone out here. His foot's gone out. Let's have a look at this on the replay. His foot's in touch. No try. So close, yet so far. Here we go. TMO interjects. And that'll be no try. His foot just hits the line there. The ball is up. No try. Good call, Kyle. In the TikTok chats. He caught that before anybody. No try. Decision overturned. 10 points to 6 it remains. 6 minutes to go. This game goes down to the wire. The Maori will have the play the ball 10 metres out in front of their own posts. Fisher Harris trying to pump the boys up. Sloppy play the ball. Willison brings it outside the 20. Down the short side. Nickel Klogstad almost opens up for him. Nikorima into dummy half. Here's Tavanga. Inside ball for Fisher Harris. Bumps off the first, but they come down and come back at him, bring him down on the second attempt. Tavanga now spills the ball, and the Indigenous All Stars dive on it. Mistakes out the wazoo here in the final 10 minutes. 10 points to 6, the Maori lead. Penalty, no, time off. Oh, I thought it was a penalty. He just said time off. Go back on your mark, sir, and play the ball properly. Alan Wick up over halfway. Watson fires it into midfield. Puru goes to ground, 40 out. Down the short side. This near side, Duncan offloads back for Watson. Watson, short ball to Puru in midfield. 4 gone. Watson breaks away from dummy half. Keeping it alive now. Jaden Sullivan back for Alan Wick. Here's Sullivan again. Crossfield kick. Numbers to the right, but it's taken. Up there, Gazali. Jesse Arthurs takes it above his head. And the Māori bring it out now from inside their own 10. Breaking away is Dane Gagai. Quick play the ball. And up towards halfway, Keanu Kinney tries to swing away from the defender. Will Warbrick up over halfway. "40 metres out from the try line here, the Māori. Tavanga does manage to swivel away from one. He's brought down 30 out, 5th and last, midfield. They go left. Docker Clay puts the kick high. Contestable. They chase through. Well, Willison's just taken him out in the air there. That's got to be a penalty to the Indigenous All Stars. Goofy Magoo, Xavier Bronco Willison takes him out in the air, plain as day. And I tell you what, if this is a glimpse into what the Broncos are going to dish up this year, Xavier Willison with no intent at all to go after that ball. He has just taken poor little Jaden Campbell out in the air. And I've got to be honest, he's lucky not to be sitting down. I'd have sent him off. That was blatant. Blatant professional foul. XJC, ahoy, mate. As the Indigenous All Stars now up towards the halfway mark. Tallis Duncan stands in the tackle. Plays the ball just short of the 50. Down this near edge they attack. Puru is wrangled down by Jordan Ricky. A couple of tackles left. Time is running out here for the Indigenous All Stars. 2.5 minutes remaining. This is their 5th and last. Time is escaping them. Puru puts it high. Oh, well taken at the back by Keanu Kinney. No, it's not. He spills it. Keanu Kinney has knocked it on. And the Indigenous All Stars will have a full set of 6 on attack inside the 22. There is a very trim and fit-looking Latrell Mitchell on the sideline. I told you guys that Wayne Bennett would whip Latrell Mitchell into shape. And I've got to say, he is looking like a beast. Scrum down, 20 out. Indigenous All Stars, 2 minutes to go. A full set of 6 on the attack. Watson looks right, goes left. No, goes on his own, Watson. Straight up the middle. Tackle 2, 12 out. Right in front of the post they are. Now they send it right. Through the hands, Campbell onto Kelly. Kelly offloads. Tyrone Munro taken to ground. Inside the 10, Jaden Campbell takes the line on. Gets the pass back. Tackle 4, Tallis Duncan. 10 metres out in front of the posts. Left they go. to the line. Short pass for Thompson. Gets the ball out for Puddle. Puddle reaches out and plants it down. Does he score it? Dear why Puddle, the number 7. It's going up as no try. It's going up as no try. Kerr with the offload, keeping it alive for Puddle. Bobbles the ball. Manages to bring it back in. Holds onto it. Keeps possession. Gets up, goes again. Oh, he's bounced it. Oh, he's bounced it. He has bounced the ball. It's gone up as no try. And I'm afraid that this cannot be overturned. If it went up as a try, it might stay a try. It's that close. He has bounced the ball over the line. 1 minute to go. 4 points the difference. Ten points to 6. Will Warbrick brings it out for the Maori. And they will slow this right down. Right down. And see this game out, you would think. They've lost the ball. They've lost the ball. And the Indigenous All Stars will have one last crack. 30 metres out. 30 seconds to go. Through the hands now, Puddle. To Whiten. Whiten goes close to the sideline. Very close to the sideline. Oh, it's still on here. Gagai with the tackle. 10 seconds to go. It's loose in midfield. They've still got the ball. This will be the last play. This is it. The final play of the game. The Indigenous All Stars on the attack. Through the hands to the right, but cutting back to the left is Campbell. The siren sounds. This is the last play. A dummy, and straight through goes Brian Kelly. Needs support. Can't get the offload away. And the Maori have won 10 points to 6. The tackle is made inside the 10. Talk about a multitude of chances, though, thrown up for both teams. Unbelievable. 30 seconds to play out the clock, and they dropped the ball. Oh, you can't believe it. They managed to hold on, though, the Maori. $10 points to 6, the Māori All Stars over the Indigenous All Stars. What a game. Went down to the wire. Well, a bloody 4-leg multi with 0 ticks off it. That's the story of the night here. 4-leg multi, 0 ticks. I do feel like we were robbed of one. Let's be honest, we were robbed out of that hammer try. Oh, unbelievable. Whew. Everybody take a breath, right? Simmer down a wee bit. That was an intense battle. All the way to the very end. $10 points to 6. What a finish. Harini says, up the Maoris, baby. Whew. All right. I'm going to have a quick break and we'll be right back to dissect all that action right after this. I need to pee, basically. Oh, well, there we go. 10 points to 6, a very low scoring affair. TSL edits. Ahoy there, mate. Oh, what an unbelievable game. See, the beauty of what we have seen this weekend, right, is that you don't need a big scoring game. You don't need a lot of tries to make it an exciting game. A close, low-scoring game can be just as exciting. And we've seen it a couple of times now this weekend. Oh. Whew, everyone, take a breath, take a rest. What an incredible night it's been. All right, Wasted World of Sports. We're going to throw it over to the chat room. If you've got any questions at all, any topics that you'd like me to discuss, anything that you might possibly, for some reason, want my opinion on, now is the time to ask it. Otherwise, I shall take my leave. So do feel free to ask away, chat room. $10 points to 6. The Māori All Stars with the victory. Solid performance. Wasted World of Sports, by the way. Live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. I now have the Twitch chat room back in front of me. Facebook is the only one we're working on. I do apologize to the Facebookers. I can't see the chat. Up until tonight, I couldn't see the Twitch chat either. But we've got that all sorted out. YouTube and TikTok, of course, our primary platforms. I've always been able to see it. Fiona Passingan up the Indigenous. Hey, look, honestly, up both teams. Up both teams. It was a great game. Both teams brought their best, and it was a fight right down to the very end. I am going to salute both teams. Cheers to both All Stars for a solid performance. Lawrence says should have been a penalty. That last 10 seconds, he was laying on him, but good game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're probably right there, Lawrence, 100%. But you very rarely see those get called, hey. I feel like the referees don't want to be the ones to make that decision, right? I've seen it in State of Origin before as well. It's happened quite a few times at State of Origin. But yeah, I don't think the referees want to be making those sorts of calls. But yes, there was a very delayed, play the ball there. Snuffy, you had 60 on the Indigenous. Well, bloody hell, Snuffy. Look, I had a 4-leg multi. Anytime try scorers, bloody none of my try scorers scored tries. Gina Ferracini, ahoy! K6, Hammer's try was a try. So it would have been 12-10, even with Josh's try. Defunk says, terrible result, really. Hang on, why did Hammer's try get taken off him again? I can't remember. I can't even remember. Ah, yes, that's right. The knock on. Oh, yeah, the knock on. The knock on off the back of the arm. That's right. Yeah, that was bollocks. That was. Oh, that was a bloody load of bollocks. Yeah, well, I had the Hammer in my same game multi, so I was personally offended by that one. Yeah, that's right. The knock on call. How do you knock the ball on off the back of your upper arm? Come on now. That was a pedantic call, that one. Yeah, that's right. I wasn't happy about that. I'd gotten over it, and now I've been reminded. Oh, well, not to worry. Daniel tipped the Indigenous All Stars to win 1-12. Needed it for your multi with the footy to win. Oh, well, very unfortunate. They nearly stole it at the end. They were given an opportunity, but not quite there in the end. Natalie Green is happy. I'm going to put that on the screen. Natalie. Natalie Green, I am happy. Snuffy reckons refs had money on the Maoris. Yeah, look, you know what? Here's the problem. Here is the problem with modern day sports, right? Betting is such a big influence. And you hate to have conversations like, oh, stuff was manipulated. But I mean, sometimes you wonder, right? Sometimes you honestly wonder. I mean, betting agencies have so much pull in what happens. And we're talking about a lot of money on the line. Sometimes some things happen and you just wonder. And that's the problem with modern day sport, is that question mark is always over it, right? No matter what the sport. I mean, we did coverage of the Big Bash. Lots of coverage of the Big Bash cricket just a few weeks ago. And some things would happen and you go, man, at the end of the day, right, like, money makes the world go around. So many players, so many officials, so many sports all across the globe. People have been busted for manipulating results. I mean, you hate to say it, but it happens, doesn't it? And I'm not necessarily talking about tonight. I'm speaking in general. Sometimes you are left in the situation where you've got to ask the question, especially when betting agencies are so involved in the game. I mean, betting agencies are major sponsors of the sports now. Are you going to try and tell me that a major sponsor doesn't have some degree of input? Yeah, it can get awkward sometimes, can't it? Defunk says, Dan, watch that Joe. What Joe? Who's Joe? Christian Kupkovich. Rabbitohs. Speaking of the Rabbitohs. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Defunk. Yeah, the betting Hall of Fame guy. Yeah, 100% I've seen it. You bumped the early send. Nah, that's all good. Yes, I've seen that one. I've seen pretty much most of Joe's podcasts, to be honest. But yes, that one I very specifically remember. Because it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. That whole topic of conversation kind of marries up. Yeah, that was good. Oh, what was that dude's name? I forget his name, but I know exactly the one you're talking about. James Fisher Harris has got the Preston Campbell medal. Well, I've got to say, I'm not so sure about that. I'm assuming that the Preston Campbell medal is for best on ground. And to be perfectly honest, I'm probably not giving that to James Fisher Harris tonight. Who am I giving it to? Okay, if I'm going to have a go at the decision, I should at least have an alternative in mind. Fair call then, I suppose. I can't come up with an alternative. Defunk says, "Is it? It is real and still does happen at times. I see it like if one match is organized each round, the TAB can win every way." Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And let's be honest, Defunk, like the amount of money that exchanges hands that we're talking about, bloody they probably don't even need a match result to go their way. They might only need a half to go their way. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about that amount of money, and they would know what money sits in which market going into the games, you know? Like, I really do hate to say it. I really do hate to bring this level of disrepute into proceedings, but I mean, let's be brutally honest here. Money makes the world go around. There's lots of things that have happened over the course of history of the sports that we follow where you just look at it and you go, yeah. Mr. Ezra, ahoy there. Mr. Ezra says, when the Indigenous saves the try for the Maori side against the Maori in the Indigenous side. Hang on, let me read that again. Because I think I confused myself. When the Indigenous saves the try for the Maori against the Maori in the Indigenous side. I'm probably just too wasted to understand that. I'm sorry. I might be, yeah. I'm afraid I might be too wasted to understand deep, meaningful conversations like that. Richard Trainer says it's all about the money, no pride. Exactly right. Exactly right. And at the end of the day, it's all about just trying to get our little piece of that money. Pride aside. UFC says, before I go, can I give my opinion on the last 3 of the trial games this weekend? What are they? I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and I've got a big juicy cone waiting for me. I mean, I didn't say that. Are there still games left this weekend? Holy Christ, there is. Okay. My opinion. Okay. Well, my opinion on Broncos versus Titans. I couldn't care less. Bulldogs versus Tigers. Let's see. What's the Tigers lineup looking like? Yeah, Tigers. Tigers are fielding a reserve grade team. Who cares? Dragons versus Roosters. Okay, so the Roosters have got Dom Young and Nwangatasi. Sandon Smith, Chad. Damien Cook playing for the Dragons and Gutherson. Okay. The Dragons Roosters one might be a little interesting. Yeah. That could be a little interesting. Dan Jam says Super League is on in a bit. Is it really? Man, I've got to be brutally honest. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. We have covered so many games. Oh, yeah, 1 a.m. Rhinos versus Trinity. You know what? I might be more inclined. You tell me if I'm wrong here, Dan Jam. You tell me if I'm wrong. I might be just physically and mentally more inclined for that Saints Red Devils game. It's at 3:30 my time. It gives me a nice big break. I just honestly don't know if I could back up in 3 hours for Rhinos versus Trinity. Is Rhinos versus Trinity going to be a better game, though, Dan Jam, in all honesty? Out of those two games, which one is more likely to be a good one? I just honestly don't know if I could physically do it, to be honest. I'm on Struggle Street already. Andrew 230, you've got a question for me. Fire away. You don't reckon any of those games, Dan Jam? I might be safe to miss both of those. I'd be pretty happy to have tomorrow off, to be perfectly honest. No pressure here whatsoever. Andrew 230 says, so they are saying Dragons are tipped to get the spoon this year, right? Apparently they are. I mean, I think it's asinine. The Dragons are not going to get the spoon this year. But yeah, they are, for some reason, the favourites with the bookies. Absolutely, it's absurd. Okay, so Dragons are tipped to get the spoon, but how are they favourites to win tomorrow against the Roosters? Well, it's pre-season, Andrew, so teams aren't fielding their best 13. And so the bookies will be looking at it and going, oh, they are absolutely not both full squads. No. Hang on, let me go back. That is not a full squad Roosters team. I mean, James Tedesco's absence alone, right? They are absolutely not full squads. James Tedesco's not playing. Robert Toller will not be the starting centre. Benaya Iolu will not be the starting hooker for the Roosters. Salasi Faketi isn't even the starting second rower in the named squad. Yeah, it's absolutely not a full strength Roosters team. Matty Colkin, thanks for the Western Force game, Dan. Jesus Christ, man, I can't do everything. I can't do it all, mate. I had to choose, and I chose this All Stars game. DJ Shaq says, you're exhausted, aren't you, Dan? Yes. You know, I'm honestly still adapting to my new life. My life as a full-time content creator. Still adapting and still figuring out how to balance the whole rest content lifestyle, to be honest. I've got so many ideas. So many ideas for YouTube videos. But it's just, I run out of time, right? I mean, I wanted to do a funny video for Valentine's Day where I choose a starting 13 of sexiest footy players. Would have been a good lot of fun, right? It would have been a great little video to release for Valentine's Day, but you know, I did the streams and I was just exhausted. Just wanted to have a lay down and have a rest and get ready for the next live call. So I feel like I need to clone myself. There needs to be more than one of me. What needs to happen? Maybe, I don't know. What do you reckon? Chat room? Anybody out there in the chat room would like to audition? Become part of the Waste of Water Sports commentary team? Take my place every now and then? I'm serious. Deadly serious. All right. Oh, DJ Shaq says Moana Pacifica looked to have imitated the Highlanders last night versus the Waratahs. Mr. Ed's Dead says, clone yourself and come to America. Well, honestly, Mr. Ed's Dead, and I hate to get into conspiracy theories, but if I want to clone myself, I think I need to come to America first, right? That's where all the cloning stations are. Got to go to America first, then clone myself, and then I can send one of me back to Australia. But anyway, I digress. Conspiracy Jones. Dan Jam says, I'll send you some match reports covering Northern Hemisphere if you want. What you mean, videos? Matty Colkin asking what my next broadcast is. It was going to be the Super League in the morning, but at the moment, I'm honestly feeling quite comfortable to sit out tomorrow morning. So it would be... Well, actually, I'll tell you what. Honestly, if I'm up and about, 6:30 tomorrow night seems pretty reasonable for me to be all well rested and recovered. I might actually honestly do that Dragons Roosters game tomorrow. Yeah, I actually might. We'll see how we go. I might actually do that. I'm kind of interested in that game. I want to see how the... Because I think, honestly, I'm looking at the bookies' odds for season 2025, and I am saying it is absolutely asinine that they have got the Dragons as favourites for the wooden spoon. And whilst we can't read all that much into pre-season form, I am very interested to see how they go. So I've got an interest in that game, just to see how it goes. I don't think the Dragons are any chance of the wooden spoon. Tomorrow morning, watch the replay of the Western Force match. I think I might just do highlights. I might do highlights on YouTube. Carlton says Broncos premiers. You wish, mate. You wish. Nah, Melbourne Storm have got it in the bag for 2025. Melbourne Storm to beat the Panthers in the grand final. Matty Colkin, you spoke to Nick White. Oh, did you tell him he's an absolute knob? Probably not. Richard Trainer's got his hands up. Broncos Melbourne Storm grand final. Well, the Melbourne Storm will definitely be there. I reckon 2025 is the Storm's season to lose. Very solid looking team. They've learnt their lessons up against the Panthers in 2024. It's another topic I was actually going to do a video on if I have the time for it. Carlton says, good luck this year, mate. No luck for me, I'm afraid. My team's got no chance. My team has backed the wrong horse, as they always do. Lots and lots of salary cap tied up in Nicho Hynes. And I'm sorry, but Nicho Hynes is not going to win us a premiership. Carlton asks, do I think the Rabbitohs will go up the ladder? 100%. I was talking about the Rabbitohs earlier as well. Like, Wayne Bennett will have those guys firing. Cody Walker Wayne Bennett will bring out his best form. Latrell Mitchell, we saw him tonight on the sideline. Wayne Bennett has already got Latrell Mitchell in match fitness. Latrell looks like an absolute beast. He has slimmed down. He's lost so much weight. He looks so fit. I reckon Latrell under Wayne Bennett and Cody Walker, they're going to have their best years, those two as individuals. I don't think that the Rabbitohs have the team, the squad, to go all the way, but they will definitely play finals footy. And Latrell might just be a smoky for the Dally M or Cody. Latrell and Cody will have a new lease on life this year under Wayne Bennett, 100%. That's my prediction. I bloody wish Wayne Bennett was coaching my team. That's all I can say about Uncle Wayne. Top 4, maybe. Yeah, top 4, maybe. They'll be in the fight. I mean, I really do think the Rabbitohs will be comfortably in the 8, potentially battling for a top 4 spot. Top 4 might be hard, though. I don't think they've got the team. I don't think they've got the squad to really threaten the premiership. Not this year. But they'll certainly be finals bound. Top 4, maybe a stretch, but definitely top 8. Oh, I think the Sharks make the 8. Yeah. I don't hate my team that much that I don't think we'll make the finals, but I do agree with you somewhat, like the Sharks will be in the fight for relegation out of the 8. I don't think they're going to finish top 4 again this year. Certainly no premiership threat. Not, look, we're not going to win a premiership with Nico as our halfback. Simple as that. I'm sure Nico Hines is a lovely bloke, but you know what they say? Nice guys finish last. I don't think we're going to win a premiership with Nico Hines at halfback. Very happy to be proven wrong. I hope they prove me wrong, but I can't see it. They should make the 8, though, just based on the draw alone. So, Richard Trainer, I would absolutely love, mate, let's have a chat. Honestly, anybody who is interested in potentially jumping on and doing some Wasted Water Sports content, yeah, let's organize a chat. Happy to do auditions, test the chemistry. I mean, 100%, I'm being honest. Carlton says Warriors wooden spoon. That's a big call. All right. I'm going to go. I'm exhausted. I reckon I'll do that Dragons. I reckon I'll do that Dragons Roosters game tomorrow. Why not? Plenty of time for me to have a break. God damn. Well, it's been a huge day. It's been a huge weekend. Thank you so much for being part of it. Very much appreciate it. Oh, what? Excuse me. What do we got here? Before I head off. Am I familiar with anytime tries? Yeah. I'm very familiar with not getting a single one in my same game multi. Bloody, we were robbed with the hammer, though. Let's be honest. We were robbed for the hammer's try. We should have got at least one tick. All right, Waste of Water Sports, thank you so much. I'll catch you guys next time. This is one exhausted, drunken bastard signing off. I'll catch you guys later. Until next time, cheers. Ah.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. They're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pants last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a roll, from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All the big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.